Let's go. I love that. Let's go.
Welcome to the Ever the Fact with your host, EOD Wrestling Hub, Chanaris Horror, and Alex Coquito. We cover WWE Evolve matches, play-by-play, and madness.
Welcome everybody back to the Evolve Effect. I'm here as always with Shauna Reed's Horror, and Alex Coquito is around. So how was everything going with you, Shauna?
It is going really well. So excited, that found out that we did find out from someone. I found out from someone at NXT that they are taping this weekend for Evolve. So it's going to be fun to know that we've got the new tapings coming up. So excited to see if he sneaks me any information.
Okay, good. And as always, want to thank Wrestling Super Friendos and Sports Jedi Network. Thanks for having us. And my day's been pretty good too. And we have a special episode. And on this podcast, we are biased to certain wrestlers, so we'll get into that like later on. But first, no code open today. It went or on the recent taping, not today. There was no code open. It went straight to the credits and went straight to the first match, which I was surprised. They always keep us on our toes over here, this channel. And it started off with Charlie Dempsey, or Charles, as Ren likes to call him, Charles Dempsey, and how do you say his last name again?
Oka Sasaki.
Sasaki. Like, I can't pronounce his first name. It's too much. It's too much.
I listened to 2 or 3 other people say it like 3 or 4 times before I did my Here's What's Happening Tonight video to make sure I pronounced it right. And I literally paused it before I said it again and was like, what is it? Okay, it's Sasaki.
Yes,
Oka Sasaki.
Be really getting on me with my pronunciation. I have a list. This is hard for me to pronounce certain things sometimes. But anyway, I can't do. I'll let you go first, and then I'll go ahead and respond. What did you think of this matchup?
First, I love seeing Noam and Romeo in VIP. I thought that was fun seeing them there. Their little banter back and forth. So every time I look at Charlie Dempsey, I've never watched the show, but I think of the dude from The Bear is who he reminds me of.
Like him.
Doesn't he? And it makes me go, man, I want to watch that show every single time he comes out. Did find it interesting that they really didn't mention Birthright. They mentioned like their history together, but they didn't mention Birthright, especially since you've got NXT people coming down. But the thing that got me about the match, I thought the match was great, even when they talked about the fact that they had, this wasn't their first match together. They have a long history. Absolutely love that. And I know Oka had one of the quick hits, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I don't understand why he's lost twice in a row now. He lost to Harley, and now he's lost to Charlie. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you've got this new person that you're showing off and you're so excited he's here, why has he lost his first 2 matches? I don't understand. And it also makes me wonder, a new Japanese wrestler coming in, what we're seeing happening on SmackDown with Shinsuke coming back. So maybe is he just here to get a couple things? Will we see him with Shinsuke? I don't know. But it just rubs me the wrong way a little bit that 2 matches in and has lost both of those matches.
Yeah, I really thought this match is really good. But same thing, the fact that he ended up losing his second match. He's only had 2 matches on Evolve. And if he's coming in to be this thing, but I was thinking maybe he's kind of like Shinsuke. Because Shinsuke, they have really underutilized Shinsuke Nakamura on the main roster to the point where I saw someone on SmackDown last Friday. I forgot he was on the roster because they just don't use him. And I was thinking maybe it could be him as the partner, but then I was like, okay, maybe Naraku is probably going to end up being a partner because he implied that it was somebody he had history with and blah, blah, blah. And I always thought Naraku wasn't going to be long on NXT to begin with. I mean, this will be super short. This is almost like Evolve short, like with Romeo. But I do like that fact that Romeo's still showing up. And at first it was weird for them being in VIP, but it looks like they probably had like a gentleman's bet going on who's rooting for which person. I think Romeo was rooting for Sasaki, and Noam Dar was rooting for Charlie Dempsey. So that was actually kind of cool, them just being the VIP area, because I'm like, well, they're not, unless they're going to go after them individually. But I was like, all right, it makes sense. This if they're just there just to watch a match. But it was a really good technical match. We don't get to see it too often in WWE, period. So they let them do this every so often in Evolve, which I like. I think the last time Troy Dempsey was there, I think he did have a technical match, and he sort of had one with Obafemi. People forget that he really had a good showing against Oba, and I think it's criminal how they use Charlie Dempsey. He is so good, and he is like the sixth most important member of his 5-member faction, which is insane. But yeah. Speaking of Birthright, Ariana Grace did put out a cool little video about Birthright with their family, the fathers of all the members, and then they got to Stax. And since Stax' dad isn't a wrestler, just had him like dancing in the yard. That was actually kind of funny with a face like what the, but that was kind of cool. But yeah,
I was shocked also too. With you think about it, if you go into the NXT realm of things, with Noir and Romeo being an established kind of tag team there and taking on Birthright, that one of them would be cheering on Charlie. So I thought that was kind of funny. And also back to the Naraku thing with Io being on Raw, are they going to put him on SmackDown?
I was thinking the same thing too, because I was like, unless maybe they're gonna pull a step where maybe they start moving some people, because a lot of content creators have been talking about the women's division on SmackDown. It's hard to think about it because they don't do anything with the mid-card title, but it is super heavy with females on there that they just don't use, and maybe they might do a little shake-up at some point, because right now, Io, I don't want to see Io go after Intercontinental Championship. I just don't want to see that happening, and I can see maybe if they kind of try to prolong it to like maybe Judgment Day, maybe Nia and Lash for Survivor Series, and maybe that's why Io's there. But other than that, it's like, hey, you can move her over to SmackDown, especially since Rhea looks like she's going to be out a lot longer than we thought she would be, because I think she just had surgery. So,
and you got Lola coming up. She's going to go to SmackDown because of Damien, so that's another body. So yeah,
Tatum just got there last week.
I'm still shocked about that. I thought she was going to Raw with the Lyra storyline. I was convinced.
Hey, you could tell me nothing. I really thought she was going to be there with Lyra Valkyria. But yeah, so that's Evolve for right now. Next match, it wasn't really. I'm surprised. The last couple of weeks has been a lot segment heavy. This episode really wasn't that segment heavy. Like, we pretty much go right into the next matchup, I believe.
No, we had the first part 1 of 2 of Brooks and Elijah.
Oh, okay. I thought that happened after the match. Okay. We'll go. Oh, that's right. We had Brooks Jensen. This was actually pretty funny. I thought it happened after the fact.
Yeah, but, this was like part 1, and then part 2 happened.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the part.
Which it was like sandwiched.
Yeah, it was. Brooks was over here explaining to the security guard people, which is weird setup. You have an elevator right there by whatever, but it is what it is. He was explaining like, oh yeah, this is like old school. This is what he's talking about. Like this is like basically this is what he aspired to be, and they were like, they don't do this anymore. And he was like, they were like, weren't you like 3 years old when this happened? Because he's such a student of the 80s wrestling that it makes it almost feel like he was there during that time. It's like, but he wasn't. In fact, I was more of a student in the 80s than he was, because I was actually alive during that time. Brooks is like 24 years old. I keep forgetting he's so young. So I'm like, if you're 24, you barely got in for the Attitude Era. So, but I do like his gimmick. He was stepping out to the elevator after talking trash about Elijah, talking about, basic nipple babies, again, people using their last name to get ahead, which I will give him credit for. Even though he is a nipple baby himself, his last name is not Buchanan, so he technically isn't using his dad's name, which is still, the whole thing is so hilarious to me. He's always talking about Elijah Holyfield and the family stuff, but you're like the same way. In fact, it's even worse for you, because your dad was actually in the business. And then he opens up the elevator, and who's there? Elijah Holyfield, and he was just like, he's out. He just started running Security kind of hold him back. I'm surprised that security even want to touch Elijah because they saw what happened the last time they mixed it with Elijah. That's why there's 2 members there right now instead of 4 because one's in the hospital or the morgue. I don't know. They haven't updated us, and the third one was probably about at the match. So, Shauna, let me know what you thought of this whole segment with Brooks Jensen, Elijah Holyfield, this whole feud, this segment.
I thought it was hilarious. They better wrap it up because as we just got word, Elijah's going to AAA. So we better wrap this soon. But I just find it comical because Brooks knows that it's on. Like he knows that he got those 2 wins by pure luck. And when Elijah can get a hold of him, it is on. So I thought it was hysterical. I even think like the security guards are kind of like, oh, like I think they got told now what they need to do in their job instead of just kind of,
Don't
causing
let any
chaos.
fights break out.
Yeah, like Thatcher was like, okay, let's have an actual orientation and a job description, which I thought was great. So I thought it was funny leading into what we saw later. But I think at some point, since we know what's happening with his contract, we gotta wrap this up. We gotta do something. And I was actually shocked, even with the segment later, we didn't get a match set. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it continues to play out when they eventually get back in the ring, how this is going to go.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised LFG is still on. I thought it was, from my understanding, I thought the season finale was going to be like a while back, and it's still coming on because I'm way behind on my reviews for LFG because I thought, oh, it's going to end in like 1 week, and I'm like, oh, it's still going on. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, on the latest episode, it was Shawn Michaels told Elijah he's going to AAA, which I was surprised. I'm happy for him, but I'm surprised. But it might actually be a good thing because Undertaker knows what he's doing in AAA. For those of you who know, we didn't do what was it? Evolve. We didn't mention people on Evolve this week, but Drake Monroe debuted over the weekend or over the last taping. So this past episode. And I looked and I was like, I think that's Drake Monroe, but he's got a chainsaw massacre type gimmick going on now. And I've never seen him so aggressive before, ever. Because he was all happy-go-lucky. But when they started to talk about Louisiana, I was like, wait a minute, is that Drake Monroe under that mask? We just never seen him that physical. And I'm like, no wonder the Undertaker wanted him down there. Because Undertaker asked for him, and now he's like, okay, he's got his monster. So that's cool. He's feuding with Psycho Clown as of right now. And Elijah, I can only imagine what... Because Elijah is good. He's really good. So I wonder how he's gonna use Elijah Holyfield. So I'm looking forward to that because there's no telling. But Undertaker's old school, and I think corporate kind of. I think corporate really doesn't really care about AAA like that. I really do. So which allows the Undertaker to do a lot more because he brought out Chad Gable and El Gran Americano, which like their character work. Even Dominic, they're using Dominic Mysterio, in my opinion. The way you say whatever you want about his build, he is the mega champion, and he's treating him like he's the mega champion and everything. Whether it's right now, it's more conniving and stuff like that, which I like, instead of him having a match on Raw for no reason and then getting pinned, which technically means Dragon Lee should have a shot at the mega championship. That's what it means. But
and I think too, with Elijah being that name recognition, pulling him to AAA will put more eyes on AAA as well.
Fans too, yeah. Back there. So yeah, the name alone will probably get them, hey, let me tune in a little bit more. I'll see what he's about and everything. So yeah, you're right about that. So I hope he's a face though. I hope he's a face. The language barriers, like I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but I mean, I don't want to do the horrible Spanish that Chad Gable was doing down there. But anyway, so now that brings us to before we do that, we're going to go ahead and put both segments together and everything because I can't even wait to talk about it. And then we'll talk about the Ren. I can't even wait to talk about it because it was just so hilarious. All right. So one more segment happened with Brooks Jensen and Holyfield. So we see Brooks Jensen, he's hightailing out of the Performance Center in daylight. But how do you get out of there? You have to go to the most dangerous place on earth. Daylight or nighttime, it doesn't matter. The NXT parking lot. He's out there. He gets in his truck. I'm thinking somebody was going to be in his truck waiting for him.
I did too. I literally was like thinking it was an extended cab and he was going to, like, at first I was like, oh, if that's an extended cab, he's going to come out from that back little section there.
But Jensen, he gets in his car, he's talking noise. He looks over and he's like, "Oh crap!" And you see Elijah Holyfield baking in the Florida sun because it was all up as all can be in Florida. So that's why I say he's baking because I'm like, why are you so oily? You're not sweaty, you're oily in Florida heat, so you're baking. He sees it, and Elijah Holyfield proceeds to run him down, but alas, he is just a man. So Jetson was eventually able to drive away. His car doesn't have a whole lot of get up and go, but once it finally got up, he was out of there. But it was just so funny watching Elijah just chase him down. I was
He
like, I
reminded
did
me
not
of the
think that was gonna happen.
Terminator.
That's what I thought too. There's actually a funny story with the Terminator. What's Robert Patrick? They said they actually had to stop because he was actually running so fast that he was actually catching up to John Connor. I think it was a scene in a parking garage. He was actually catching up to him, and they had to tell him that he had to slow down because he's been practicing running and holding his breath so he could kind of look like the Terminator, because that was all him running. And I'm like, that's amazing. That's what Elijah Holyfield reminded me of. The T1000. It was funny when he finally gets his hands on him. He's finally. I hope it's going to happen in succession. Like as you were saying, there's going to be tapings this week, so hopefully, and we don't know how long LFG has been taped. And like Drake Monroe, they told Drake Monroe about AAA back on like maybe the third episode of LFG, and he's just now showing up, which means he showed up sometime in July because I think they taped it all 3 weeks at one showing in July. So it was a while before he actually showed up. So we figure, okay, yeah, we could go ahead and get Elijah in there. And maybe Elijah, I'm thinking maybe debuts either at Triple Mania, because that's only next month, or after Triple Mania. There's really no reason to throw him in there right now when you got all these storylines, but right after, or maybe it's a special attraction during the event. Maybe night one in Vegas. That'll be a good spot for him.
Yeah, because the person I know that was going, it's your boy Alan. He was at NXT, and they put the graphic up for NXT saying, "Hey, it's taping this weekend. Sign up for Friday and Saturday." So that's where he was like, "Hey, just wanted to let you know they're taping. I'm going to try to get to both." So I was like,
Yeah, I wish I
"Give
would
me
have
the
known because
scoop."
I never got like anything through my email to. So I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna come in like September or whatever. Then I saw your message saying, yeah, there's a taping this weekend. I'm like, darn it, it's probably too late to get in now. But speaking of getting in, our next match was Ren Sinclair on a Wednesday versus Sloane Jacobs. And Sloane Jacobs, from where she was at before and where she's at now on Evolve, is completely different. And she's really showing something. I do like her announcer gimmick, not gimmick, but part of her act, the announcing. And I did see her on social media, but I saw it after the show. So when she basically she said, "Oh yeah, I could do announcing for other people too. I'm going to announce my opponent for this evening," and her announcing of Ren Sinclair was hilarious. She put her down, but it was still good. Just the announcing, saying, "Oh, it's Ren Sinclair." So I check out Sloane's social media accounts. I thought that was funny. But yeah, what did you think of Ren Sinclair and Sloane Jacob? The match, the special guest, which I'm shocked was actually in attendance.
I will say I loved how Sloane like came out introducing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's hysterical. I love this." And when she announced Nikita, there was like a split second. I was like, Nikita's not going to be there. Like, she's not going to be there. Then she comes out, and the whole entire time that she's sitting in VIP saging the match, I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. And I liked the match between the two of them. I think it kind of it gives Sloane like, yeah, you're still not there yet. Like, to give Ren the win, to kind of, because I think you still need to play Sloane is not at that level of Nikita. Like, she's, as Alex likes to say, she's Starscream. So her not winning made sense. It was nice to see Ren get it with the tap out, which I liked. And I was shocked to see her come to the ring after. I thought she was just going to blow her off, be like, okay, match is done. Bye. Leaving. So that not happening was kind of shocking to me. So it kind of makes me think, Like, wow, like maybe Nikita does actually like Sloane. She doesn't just have her around. Like, she has her around, but she
Mhm.
actually does kind of like her. But I love that part. And then I love Dad coming out and wreaking havoc and challenging. So I thought that was great. But I really like the match. I still don't understand why Ren can't show off the speed title. I don't know if it's because we've got this unification coming up in Heat Wave. I don't know. Still don't understand that, but I did like the match. I just still think it's Sloane did a really good job, but I think it's still going to show that she thinks she's here, but she's really not. But it's going to be fun to see next week some of the aftermath. Does Nikita blame her for Thea coming out, challenge her, all of that? That's what I'm waiting to see. Because
Yeah.
she lost, did she put her in that position?
Yeah, to me, I really did like the match also, and Ren, she really showed a lot in this match, which is weird because she's a good wrestler, and it's supposed to be the year of Ren Sinclair. I remember Shawn Michaels talking about it toward the end of last year, just like he was talking about Ava, like Ava before she became general manager. Like he will tell you, like, hey, they got about to push somebody, he'll let you know. Um, but yeah, the speed. Well, before we get to that, I'll just talk about the match first, and we'll talk about all that. Sloane, to me, was hilarious when she came out, and I really thought she wasn't gonna come out. When I thought, okay, Nikita's gonna come out, is when she mentioned the VIP section. I was like, oh, she's actually gonna come out. If she didn't mention the VIP section, I was gonna be like, okay, Nikita's gonna blow her off and not show up. She gave her a nice intro. Nikita came out, and I noticed when Sloane came into the ring, she did a little pose, kind of like Nikita did off the turnbuckle. She kind of did her little whatever thing, like kind of whimsical pose. I'm like, oh, she's kind of trying to emulate Nikita a little bit. I like that. I did like the fact that Nikita was talking throughout the entire match, like either kind of cheering her on or wanting to know what on earth were you doing, type of situation. So that was cool. But Ren really showed something, and I thought I had a theory of why Ren didn't have the title, and I still couldn't explain it away. Like once I said it, then I was like, okay, yeah, it still doesn't make any sense. I was like, okay, maybe because it's Evolve, a different brand. Okay, the title's not gonna be recognized, so that's why she doesn't show up. But then that doesn't make sense for every other program they have when they have the mixed tag team champion showing up on NXT, or the cruiserweight champion, the Latin American cruiserweight champion showing up on SmackDown. So I'm like, okay, I just blew up my own theory. So the only thing I can really think about is like, even though they haven't explained it, it's like, look, these are tapings, and we don't know what might happen between the tapings and the show. So just in case, we'll leave the title off the show. Which brings me to another thing. Layla Diggs was part of the tapings before, so it's like either to me, I really do think now they changed some stuff. Like I don't know, I can't base that on anything, but I really think they must have went and retaped something because she has been nowhere around the segments, and she was heavily involved with the feud to set it off. So for her not to be shown at all, either they've cut her or they just maybe took her matches off the show, or they retaped some stuff because it's like it's kind of weird how she threw her hat in there, and then we have, since they're all taped on during 2 days, and then she's nowhere else to be found. So I do think that's a little. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing for continuity purposes, but it's just like, all right, if you could do that, there's some other things you could do too when it comes to continuity. That's all. But yeah, the match was good. I like the fact that the reversals were great, especially toward the end. When she got out of Ren's finisher the first time, and then Ren was able to lock it back in. The last time off a crazy reversal, it made her tap. I did like the Keto Lions coming out there, talking her trash, because it's like, yeah, Ren is the speed champion. She is on NXT. She's like, no, 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 Wendy's, and they still mention Wendy. She's like, Wendy, yeah, she still can't be found. So, like, it's I don't know, like, not, she didn't say ordained, but something like that. It's like, yeah, the stars haven't aligned. I don't know, it's been ordained. Like, it's not a worthy challenger since no one can find Wendy. And that's when Dia came out there, entered dad light persona is what I want to say, because she came out
Yes.
and they named her dad, but like she really wasn't acting like dad yet. So hopefully she gets to pull that out at some point. But overall, I thought this was a really good match. Sloane, I noticed on social media, she's bulking up a little bit. She's getting a little buff. I see. But yeah, the right person won this match. just for the fact that Ren Sinclair is a more established person. If you're gonna have somebody from NXT, especially a champion, you don't come down to Evolve and lose matches clean to Evolve talent. It's just not. This is not what you would think. Just like when you go up the main event, you're not NXT people are not winning matches against main event or main roster stars on main event for the most part. Unless you're on there a long time, you can build up a story and then you do it. But right off the bat, it's not going to happen. So, yeah, I thought it was good, and they got to figure out something. They got to explain the belts to us a little bit. Why is the ID belt? It's not on there. Why, if you're a champion, you go on there? It's like I get it. You're tape. Maybe you get hurt. Then you don't want to.
That is one question I have for Lady Luck when I go to the Beyond Wrestling event at the end of the month. I don't know if she'll let me interview her on camera, but that is the one question I'm asking her. Like, I have it ingrained in my head as I'm like thinking of questions, because my goal is to do some like serious like non-kayfabe, like have questions that are kayfabe and non-kayfabe. And that is the one question I have for Lainey Luck, is to be like, why can we see the banner that you're the champion? And it'll say you're the champion, but why can we not see the titles on the show? And if she doesn't want to interview me, I'm just gonna be like, just give me the answer to this one question, please, because it is driving all of us crazy. That is like the one question that I'm going to try to get an answer out of Lainey Luck on, if she's allowed to answer. Yeah. Don't know if she is or not, but that is like my goal in the interviews. I don't care about anything else. I need to know.
Yes, for an audience that's watching right now, for PWF, Shauna Beats Horror is the resident Barbara Walters of PWF. She's gonna get the story. She's not gonna get no gotcha questions though. She's not gotcha questions. But she's gonna get the story. She's gonna get the story.
That is my goal.
She makes things happen.
That is my goal for her. Like my main question for her. I have some fun ones already written up in my head for Timothy Thatcher and a few other, like the 5 that are going to be there. But for Lady, I'm going to be like, okay, cool. Like we just need to know. Can you break it down for us? Why? Because it drives us all crazy and we're all just beyond curious. Like, so hopefully we'll see. I don't know. That's my goal.
Yeah, there was a saying in the military we used to have, is like, you make it happen, drill sergeant. Shauna Beats Horror makes it happen. So when y'all go look up that Evolve website and wonder how it got updated, that's how it got updated. Shauna Beats Horror right there. So
cornering Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Photo
so
op.
She made that happen. So all right. Next, oh yeah, that's right. Lainey Luck came up next. Well, not next, but we already crammed 2 segments into one. So Lainey Luck came up and she addressed PJ Vasa. So, Shauna, what did you think about this segment and the new, I would say, new attitude, Lainey Luck, because she's super confident now.
I really like it with her, like, new super confidence, because she's kind of like, okay, I'm not just going to take back what happened. You know, I want answers. I want, you know, I need to know why. And if you're going to come after me, you know, let's go. So, and I like how they're playing out that she'll be cleared in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So it makes me wonder if that's the new batch of tapings, what's going to go down and what's going to happen. So hopefully, I'm hoping next week we see something from PJ Vasa to continue the storyline, so it's not one-sided. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be a new side of Lainey to see, and I think this is going to be a fun, if they actually give it some life, I think it's going to be a fun program between the two of them.
Yeah, I was wondering when she was talking about 2 weeks. I don't know, because I'm losing count, if that would make it the last taping that they did before going into the new tapings. And
that's what I was trying to figure that math out too. And I was like, yeah.
And I also like the fact that she did basically straight up address PJ Vasa, and also the fact she's come back in 2 weeks means, that chair shot did damage on the leg, so they're selling that the injury, so she needed time to heal back up. So I like that. The fact that she told PJ Vasa, like, look, you're not going to use me as a stepping stone to get to the Evolve Championship. And she is really feeling and sounding like she is a real contender for the Evolve Championship. Like, whenever Nikita Alliance is done with whatever feud we kind of already know what the feud's going to be. Since Thea basically said she's the next contender for the Evolve Champion, which makes sense because she did pin her. in their tag team match, and that's how that works. That's why I said Dragon Lee really should get a shot at the Mega Championship just because he beat him. He beat him on Raw. That's just how they do it in WWE. Um, but yeah, the fact that she's came out says, look, you're not going to. It's like it's a different Lady Reed. She's calling her out, like, because PJ Voss really, she had no issue with her. She just took her out just because and everything, just because they gained some type of favor with Nikita to get a title shot. So I like this. I think Lady Luck is gonna show PJ Voss is not. She's a monster, but she's not unbeatable. She's been beaten a couple times on Evolve, which I like. And the way Lady Luck is going now, I really think Lady Luck can pull off the win. I do think she can pull it off when they do get to their matchup. But now, right before we get to our main event, we have somebody in the VIP section, and this is going to tie into what I was about to say about the Speed Championship. We have Harlem Lewis in the VIP section chilling with Rizzo. Rizzo interviewed him, and before I talk about what that happened, Harlem Lewis did make an appearance on NXT the night before, him and Elijah Holyfield, congratulating the new tag team champions of Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne, who is now Miles Bourne is now a double champion. He's a tag champion and North American champion, and Harlem Lewis is sporting a kind of a new look. I actually liked it. His beard was nice, trimmed down and shaved. He kind of had like a shaped up stubble beard is what he had. So, and I remember saying it on my live stream, this is going to be interesting, what he looks like on Evolve tomorrow night. And Lord and behold, he still had the mutton chops on Evolve because it was taped last week. And I think that is the reason why we don't get the Speed Championship. In case, oh, we taped it, she's the Speed Champion. Oh, you got hurt. You haven't been the Speed Champion for like 3 weeks. But here you are with the Speed Championship belt. I think that ultimately might be the reason why we really don't see this, like the belts on there, just in case something like that happens. It might be easier to like explain it away than do that, because I was like, I knew it was gonna happen. I just thought it was kind of funny. Stuff like that can't be helped because obviously, when they make you change your look like that, it's like, they see big. Oh, and he had his Evolve Championship, which I want to say that he had his Evolve Championship. I'm like, First we start seeing you background, and looks like Harlem Lewis, before this year's out, you might be on the NXT roster. You're already doing things on main event, so makes sense. So they basically were just talking. Harlem was out there saying they asked him why was he even out there. He's like, look, he knows he's a champion, so he's got a bullseye on his back, so everybody's after him. So, and plus he likes watching a good fight anyway. So that's why he was really out there. Shauna, what did you think about Harlem being out there in the first place?
I really liked it because I think it's going to show. I think we're going to see a new side of Harlem, because he can't play the I'm here to get this. I've worked for it. I deserve it. So I think it was kind of planting the seeds for what Harlem's new character is going to be as champion. And I think that's also going to play into who eventually won the match and how that's going to play out. I think is going to play into Harlem's new character. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how he changes it up. It kind of made sense for him to be out there in a way, because he's like, oh, hey, I'm the champion. I've got this target on my back. I need to see who's out there. So I really liked it because he wasn't just, it's going to be, you could tell he was different. Like there's a way to,
he was definitely different.
And it was like, okay, so here's, how are we going and how are we switching him up? And I think after what happened at the end of the match, what it is, how it's going to change up a little bit, but I really liked it. And I think it's going to give everybody a chance to see the new Harlem and let him kind of play with who his new character is going to be and go from there. So I liked it. It wasn't, and with Adriana, I was like, oh my gosh, he's probably going to say something off the wall, he didn't. It was just a very nice, I'm here, I'm this. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be really fun to see him moving forward as champion.
Yeah. I do want to say he did almost dip his toe in some Harley Riggins territory, because I saw what you did there at the beginning of your promo, Harlem Lewis. I was like, wait, what did you just say? I'm like, I'm not going to repeat it on here and everything. Go watch Evolve. See, we're plugging Evolve too. So go watch the promo on Evolve. But yeah, he was. I'm like, oh, that was a little Harley Riggins little play on words I saw you did there. But anyway, we start off the match. The main event of the evening was Cappuccino Jones versus Chaz Starboy Hall and versus It's Gall. And wait, I'm gonna let you go first this time on this one. All right, what did you think about this match?
So I had something in my head that was going to happen in this match the second it got announced, and it did not happen. So I'm really shocked. I literally thought we were going to see the heel turn of Cappuccino Jones in this match. I thought we were going to see it. I was like, he's been doing the Dark Roast Jones, the Dark Roast Summer, everything we've seen, even at Reality of Wrestling, this new character, we've seen it. And that tension from him where he accidentally hit Starboy outside of the ring. And you could see it in the ring between the two of them. Like they weren't trusting each other at all. And I was like, it's going to happen. Like this, it is happening tonight. It was one of those, you could not convince me otherwise. And then it didn't. And I'm like, okay, what? Because I was like, this is the perfect segue for Sam after his speech. If Cap goes heel, Sam could step up, be the leader, unite the 1.0 crew. I thought it was really great to see Starboy in there. I always get excited when I see Starboy in any match. I thought I was like, there's a glimmer of hope. It's Gall is going to win. I was hopeful, but I didn't think it was going to happen. I was like, Cap's going to pin Starboy. It's going to start the thing, and It's Gall's just there. But seeing It's Gall win, super excited. 2 in a row. He challenges Harlem at the end, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe he's challenging him. This is going to be insane. And I was like, it makes sense if they want to keep Harlem a heel and a new version of a heel character if he defeats Gall for this challenge. And I think it's going to be fun to see what happens since we now have new talent to evolve on a losing streak. We've got Evolve Superstar with It's Gall on a winning streak. And then at the end where Cap and Starboy made up and were jamming, I was like, what is happening? We're friends now? All of a sudden we're friends and we couldn't stand each other until 2 seconds ago. So I was kind of shocked by that, but I still think the heel turn is coming. I just haven't been able to now. I've got to suss out how it's going to happen, but I liked the match. It was fun all together through everything. So I'm just really waiting to see how the storyline plays out now. And knowing It's Gall's going after the title, I don't know what to think. There was something that I was like, please let him go after the title, but it'll never happen. And now it's happening. So I don't know how to process that yet.
Yeah, I thought the match was really, really good. It's Gall held his own. It's not like he had a fluke win. It's Gall was actually dominating a lot of this matchup, even though Starboy and Cappuccino were still trying to like take each other out. But It's Gall like the double T move off the turnbuckle where I thought they were gonna suplex him. I don't call it a superplex if it's from the second rope. And It's Gall got out of it. I was like, wait, what? I'm like, what is going on? They really made It's Gall look like a real threat. He was still cocky. I thought the cockiness was going to get him at one point. But yeah, the back and forths and everything. Yes, I really did. You couldn't tell me anything. I thought Cappuccino was going to go full heel on this match, especially at the end when he looked like he was going to shake his hand. I thought, oh, here we go. He's going to do something. And okay, shook hands. Okay, he's behind him. He's going to do something. And they didn't. But the weirdest thing happened when I saw them together, when they were like jamming out on the fake air guitars. I'm like, you know what? Their gimmicks aren't as different as you might think. Because to me, Chaz Starboy Hall looks like John Travolta from the 70s. For some reason, he got that Welcome Back Kotter look to him. And then you got Cappuccino Jones got the 70s look going. I'm like, they both got their 70s. Starboy's got the hair, the denim. I'm like, you know what? When I saw them like rocking, I'm like, you know what? They could possibly make a good tag team. And I hope they do. And then I hope Cappuccino turns on them, turn the tag team or something. But it's got to happen. It's got to happen. But they're teasing us. They're like, yeah, just when you thought he was going to turn, not quite yet. But it's Gall. I'm so happy. I can't believe this man's on a winning streak. I actually never thought I would see it. It's been like, what, 60-something episodes, almost 70 episodes, I think. And he's finally getting some shine. And he's been there from the beginning. and then it's God lost his damn mind. My man went on a 2-win winning streak, and they called out Harlem Lewis. Like, but the thing is, technically, he's not wrong. I mean, he is on a winning streak. Sure, it's only 2 wins, but if this was like, we'll put it in football terms because preseason is tomorrow for NFL. He might be on the top of the division right now because he's on a 2-game winning streak. Everybody else is on losing streaks right now. So, yeah, but Harlem Lewis is really just, he was like, yeah, okay. Like, whatever. Like, I really don't think Harlem Lewis even took him seriously, calling him out like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, you could get a title shot. I don't even think he believes it. It's Gall believes he has a title shot. But I'm like, wow, his logic is actually sound on a 2-win winning streak. Because every member of ID is on a losing streak. Sam Holloway, which he has a match with CJ Valor. I always do that. CJ Valor. It's the Jays. CJ Valor and Sam Holloway is finally going to get their match next week. That was announced. So hopefully he can pull something up. But yeah, it's Gal. I can't believe it. He's gonna wait.
I think what's gonna be.
Oh wait a minute, hold up. Alex, I think just joined in for a second.
Yes, I did.
Oh, there we go.
Continue.
Go ahead.
We'll continue.
Okay.
What I was
sorry
going to say was,
go ahead.
I cannot wait for It's Gall to like get ready for that match, and Harlem to be like, "What are you talking about?" And Thatcher's like, "The match is happening." Like, I am waiting for that segment where Harlem's like, "This is not going to happen," and Thatcher's like, "Oh no, it's happening." Like, that's what I'm excited for, and I'm hoping Gall gives us a vignette. I am hoping we get a new vignette with the winning streak challenging. I'm hopeful for a vignette. So Gall, if you're listening, we need a vignette. But that's what I'm waiting for, is for him to be pushing like, "Hey, I get this title shot," and Harlem like, "Nope," and Thatcher like, "Yup." That I'm waiting. I am so waiting for that.
Yeah, he's gonna be the underdog of all underdogs. But the boldness of It's Gall, the hottest winning streak, and I'm thinking it's 2 wins. I'm like, well, I guess you're right. And he called him out to his face. That was the most hilarious thing. It's like, you've been on here for like 60-something episodes. You finally started with, like, you would never, it's not the fact that he's on a winning streak now. He just won his first match. Technically, he did have the 1 tag match, so we'll go ahead and loosely give him 3. But singles, he just had his first win in Evolve history, last week or the week before? And I'm like, and now he's calling his shot at the champion. I'm like, wow. And he's definitely not taking him seriously whatsoever. So it's going to be funny. Just, oh, hell no. I really hope they stretch this out. Like you said, like have Harlem like, okay, not really believing it. Thatcher going back saying blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's really happening. Do it over about a span of maybe 2 episodes, like next episode, following episode after that, and 1 more episode, since you got a whole new set of tapings going on. Like, stretch it out for a little bit, and maybe by the end, well, no, you're gonna have to probably have it in the middle of those tapings though, just so you can have it. I'm sorry, Gal, you're my guy. When the real contender shows up, I don't want to say it like that because Gal, you're my guy. You're my guy, but you're not winning that match. I can call it right now. You're not. Well, you know what? I don't even want to say that. I mean, my man was on NXT on Tuesday, so maybe the title might not be long for Harlem Lewis. It could happen in a weird way, in a fringe, alternate reality kind of way. It's Gal might actually beat Harlem Lewis, maybe because Harlem gets super cocky, but I highly doubt it. But I can't give it 100% that Harlem Lewis is going to win the match. There's about a 98% chance he's going to win the match, but it's Gal still got 2%. So, yeah. Alex, I don't know if you're still there, if you want to chime in on your guy.
Yeah. Shout out to Wrestling Super Friendos Network on Apple, Spotify, and Spreaker, wherever you can find your audio platforms. Second, I'll do a nice little quick review. Okazaki versus Charlie Dempsey, great match. I did like the finish. Brent Sinclair versus Sloane Jacobs, that count from an O'Connor roll into her special was, and I'll talk about this on the main show. Sloane's face like, oh no, like yeah, you're tapping out, bitch. And dude, yes, the It's Gall match was legendary. The fact that he won, I'm like, I jumped on like, yes. But then going after Harlem, and Harlem was like, I just smoked a blunt. I'm not really being serious about this. I did ask Australiano.
Get away with that.
Like, no, we're smoking outside. We're fine. Yeah, I had this straight again. It's Gall. I love you as a wrestler. Cutler has a 3 winning streak. Let's be real. Like, you're not at the same level as the Terminator Cutler, and he's gonna have another match next week where he's gonna win again. Maybe not. But I will say this was a good show. This was a good show. This was not a great show, but this was a good show. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, do you think maybe they'll have another one contenders match between Cutler and its Gall? Because Gall did win a triple threat, so he did beat. They have about this. They beat the same amount of people, even though Cutler did beat its Gall 2 of those times.
Yeah, they will. Because remember, we did say that Cutler is gonna be in a #1 contendership match. We just don't know when. So it makes sense. He beats Mathers. Thatcher comes out and say, okay, fine, you're kind of in the lead, so it's going to be you and it's Gall for a #1 contendership match. Whoever wins fights Harlem in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. No, 2 weeks. We only have 2 more tapings until the next step.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it, I can see it's Gall beating Cutler finally. And then Harlem is going to be really, I can't believe this. I don't know how he'll beat him. I'm not saying he beat him like, clean or whatever, but if he beats him, then Harmless is going to really be like, you got to be kidding me. You absolutely got to be kidding me. But I can see that happening. I don't see him beating Harlem though. But
depends on Mathers. Let's see what happens in the Mathers match. If he beats Mathers and Mathers is like, oh, my life sucks. Oh my God, I'm getting paid for these tattoos and stuff. Yeah, then fine, come out the next week and fight him. Other than that, I hope it's Gall. Like, it's Gall winning the belt would be the most craziest left field I've ever seen in my life. Craziest and well deserved. And yeah, by the way, I also was confused at the end where Cappuccino's like, hit that Starboard music, and they're dancing. I'm like, can I jump into your soul and just punch Starboard and get this over with, Gabe? I love that you're trying to tease us, but we already saw the thing in the box, man. Stop it. That's all I gotta say.
all right, that looks like I don't know. Let me see if anything else Evolve worthy is happening. Well, you know what? Since we got just a little bit of time, we did finish a little early. Let's talk about some people on alumni of Evolve that's doing some big things right now. Because Callie Armstrong was on NXT, and she really wants that NXT title from Kendall. What do you think about that?
I really like it because I think her going out and, trying to stake her claim is pushing Kalani a little bit more towards the cuckoo's nest edge, because Kalani is just going crazy like right now because she wants that shot on someone else stepping in. So I think I think we're going to get a #1 contenders or a program between Callie and Kalani. That's a tongue twister. Between the two of them, because Kalani has her sights set on it. She keeps and even when the people walk away from her when she's talking about it.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
So I think we're going to get something between the two of them, just not sure what yet for that. So I think that's going to be very interesting, and really not sure who would be the one out of the two of them to take it off, because I could see Kalani maybe sometime soon getting that call up. She's the only one of the 4 NXT superstars that were in the Women's Rumble that has yet to get the call up. She was also there. So I think we're going to get a program between the two of them, which is going to be really exciting to see who ends up on top there. And if it ends up being Callie, it's going to really send Kalani over the edge. And then if it's Kalani, I could see them kind of going back and forth until she gets that match. If Kendall retains, and then Kylie being like, okay, now it's my shot. So I think we're going to see something fun with the two of them up there.
Yeah. The women's division on NXT is really stacked right now. And I do like the fact that Callie is going after the championship and not going after the North American championship first, because just the way the divisions work out, it's like to me, we've seen it in Evolve. The people at NXT that haven't watched Evolve, they're going to be in for a treat when they finally do get this feud going on. Kalani, I do think Kalani will get the opportunity first at Kendall. I think Kendall will probably prevail, and hopefully that'll send. Hopefully we get one more blow off with Kalani, and before she gets called up. Like I guess to SmackDown. Like that's where every female goes to SmackDown. It seems like at this point, which I hope doesn't happen. Or they need to mix it up a little bit. But I think she'll end up in SmackDown because of let's just say they don't like to split up happy couples and everything.
Yeah,
When
and
they
their
can.
wedding is really soon. It's like right around the corner.
Wait, no, Kalani? No, they already got married.
She was at SummerSlam because she was at a
Oh.
bachelorette.
Oh, was this a bachelor party?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they got married. The way they had the pictures and everything. I was like, oh, okay, so it was
No, she
bachelorette
wasn't
party.
as Mello was at SummerSlam.
Okay.
Kalani was at her bachelorette.
Oh, okay. So I wonder what. Let's.
Yay.
That's cool. 'Cause I remember like last year they did something. So I thought they got married, or maybe they did just something. I don't fucking. I mean, whoops, my bad. I don't know. But congratulations to them if they're getting married. Officially. That's cool. Glad for them. But yeah, they try not to break up happy couples. So I think
course.
she'll end up going to SmackDown. But everybody's gone to SmackDown. It feels like, and Raw needs some love too, even though they're still not doing anything with the mid card division on SmackDown. Hopefully that's about to change soon because on Raw we had Lyra and Sol Ruka had something going on backstage, which was kind of cool. So I'm like, oh, Lyra wants the IC title again. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna do something with the mid card titles. Finally, that's what it's there for. You have all these women that could be vying for this.
Jordan Grace.
Jordan, just put Jordan Grace on Raw because y'all got a lot of women on SmackDown. You're not doing anything with her anyway. Put her on Raw.
Do not.
And
Do not.
You don't like Jordan Grace on Raw?
I don't send her to AAA because she's not gonna do anything. Send her to AAA. Everyone's going to AAA. Have some fun over there. Hey, Jordan, come to Evolve. Try it.
Oh, actually,
Then-
you know what?
yeah.
Undertaker will utilize Jordan Grace very well.
Yeah.
Very well. So I don't know
But-
if she wants to make the commute from Georgia to Mexico all the time. Well, you know, it's not even all the time because they tape most of their shows. They usually
Yeah,
have one showing and tape like about 2 or 3 weeks at a time. So
But I want to say this before we get out of here. About the Kaylani Kali situation. Okay, shout out to Real Black House Booking. He did give praise to Evolve, so shout out to him. Second, he recognizes the Armstrong Gray story. They have to fight. They have to.
it has to happen.
They have to. Now, why are they setting up Kaylani joining like Sami Zayn, like the conspiracy theorists, so that what she wins a belt for one episode and then next episode she loses it? That's how I kind of feel. Like Kaylani wins the belt next week against Kendall because of the ear thing. Then a week later, Callie challenges Kaylani and then beats her, and then it's just Callie versus Kendall all over again for the belt, a la Evolve Part 2. That's what I think is going to happen. Because if not,
yeah, she says Kendall's a face, and it's the chase for the title.
24 women. They don't need any more. They need to reduce. Honestly. Shout out to anyone that on SmackDown that's stuck there forever. But anyway, EOD, final rating and take us home.
This was for me a solid B. Almost, you know what? It was a B plus. It was a B plus episode. Can't quite say it was A. It was a B plus episode for me. I just liked everything about it, and where we're going forward with everything. And Harlem Lewis is definitely seemed like he's turning back into a heel, especially after the pin with Aaron Rourke last week. The way he looked at him and everything, that was heelish. And now kind of dismissing the skull, that was kind of heelish too. But guys, you could find me on my socials. Go to linktree/endofdays33. That's where you can find all my stuff. My YouTube page is EOD33 Wrestling Hub, and I do live watch alongs Monday through Wednesday of Raw, NXT, and Evolve. Shauna?
Yeah, so I definitely give it a B plus as well. The plus is because It's Gall got his second win in a row. So definitely there. I'm excited to see how we get the Harlem's new character coming out of this week. And I'm excited to see if we have any more chaos between Brooks and Elijah before we get that possible third and final match set. So I think that's going to be fun. But you can find me on Instagram and TikTok under Shauna Reads Horror for wrestling content and horror book recommendations.
One last theory. Next week, if Jensen keeps running, Vanta the Unknown can hide somewhere and stop him. And then Elijah's like, hey, thanks, Vanta. And then that could be the starter for something. Again, just putting that out there. Check us out on PWF Wrestling on YouTube. Shout out to Jedi Sports Media Network for giving us the platform to grow. Shout out to Wrestling Super Friendos, which you can find us on audio platforms and anywhere you can get us. Hopefully we get Coach tonight. Hopefully we get Terrell tonight. Hopefully we get Hear These Thoughts. 3 wild men, 1 room. Gotta love it. Stay healthy. Stay happy. This is the Evolve Effect episode 73. We're getting on 74, the stacked episode. You'll know why when we get there. Good night, everybody. And remember, Jensen, unblock me. Don't be a bitch.
There has been one man that I wanted to take everything that I could from him, to leave him with nothing but the ash of his pride. But for that one man, there have been a dozen or more other dumbasses to get in my way, and justice delayed is justice denied. But look at me.